Now, the English 1 lessons, we have done a quite bit on it. We have learned letter writing of various types. We have also learned email writing. We have completed also notice writing. Now, the next is comprehension. Okay? So this is an introductory class. You are already doing the comprehension. You have been doing this comprehension exercises from the smaller classes, and in class 9 already you are following lessons taken by Mr. Singh, okay, in which you are also doing this comprehension exercises. Now I just want to give you an introduction into what is this comprehension basically, because though many of the students have been doing this exercise, over the years I have come to know that many do not understand what exactly is this particular exercise. We have heard that word comprehension, and I have, for instance, asked the students what is comprehension. They would say an unseen passage, right? Or you have to answer questions after reading a passage. Now, that is partially correct, but let me explain to you what exactly is comprehension. Alright? Comprehension is a word that comes from the root word to comprehend. To comprehend means to understand or to grasp. This one. Okay. So the meaning of comprehension is to understand or to grasp. Okay. So the root word is comprehend. Comprehend. The comprehension is the noun form of it. So the comprehension means understanding. Or grasping. So this exercise is a test on your understanding ability or your grasping power of a particular language. Now, this exercise is common to all language learning lessons, whether it is English, whether it is Hindi, or whether it is Nepali, or any foreign language, or any other Indian language. You will always be given a test of your understanding. It's a comprehension. And so, comprehension is therefore an exercise given to test or to assess or to evaluate the pupils, whoever is the learner of a particular language, his or her understanding ability in that particular language. So this is a form of test of your knowledge of a particular language. So at various levels the test shall vary. That's the only difference. The vocabulary given to you, the word meaning given to you, or the questions given to you, and the passage that is given to you shall vary according to your level of knowledge. Okay. Now, so it is basically, comprehension is an exercise or a test given to you to check your understanding ability of a particular language at a given time. Okay? Alright. Now, having said that, Now let's see how is this test done. How is this test done? So the purpose is very clear. It is to test your understanding ability of a particular language. And one of the first things that is tested is, and the first type of exercise or test given to you is a vocabulary test. A vocabulary test. What is vocabulary? Here again, it's a very common word. We are used to it. We have heard it. Improve your vocabulary. The more vocabulary you have, the better chance of fluency in speaking and writing skills and your understanding skills of a written and spoken language. We have known that. So what is it? Basically it is your word power. For mastery of any language, what you basically require is a large vocabulary. That means you should have lots of words in store. You should have the larger the number of words and their meanings you know, the better your language shall be when you speak and you write. And you shall also understand the spoken language when somebody speaks to you, as well as when you are reading a text or a book. Okay, for that, word power is very important. And one of the best ways to learn or to improve your vocabulary or word power is by learning. Let's say make a resolution that I'm going to learn at least 10 new words each day. Each day I make a resolution to learn 10 new words in English. Okay. And after a year of continuous learning, you shall discover that you will have learned so many new words. Okay? So you can follow various systems. You can have, for instance, a small card with the 10 words, 1 to 10 new words, and their meanings against it. And then you keep a file of it. So you pile them up and keep them in a collection. So once a while you can take it out and revise. You just look at the word, you shall realize that this word has become part of your memory. It is stored in your mind. It comes naturally to you, the meaning of the word. Alright? The moment you see the word here, you shall have understood the meaning of it. So each day, make it a point to learn at least 10 new words. Now, what type of tests are usually given? So, up to class 10 level, most of the time, for your class 12 board exam, you are asked to give the meaning of the words directly. You are asked to give the meaning of the word directly. In other words, 3 words are given. 3 words are given. 2, 3. 3 words are given, and you are asked to give the meaning of the words, meaning of each of these words in the context of the passage. In the context of the passage. Alright. Now this instruction is very important. Why is this instruction very important? For the simple reason that a word in English language can have more than one meaning. Some may have many meanings as well. Alright? And therefore, you are asked to give what is the meaning of the word as it is used in the passage. What it means in this particular context of the passage. So for your comprehension exercise, you are given an unseen passage. A passage that you have never learned, a passage you may be seeing for the first time. The passage is selected according to your ability or what is expected of a class 10 student, how much knowledge of the language you should be having. Depending on that, the passage is selected, so you will not have much difficulty in answering these questions. Okay, so the first thing is you are asked to give, and this is to basically check your, I told you, your word power. What is the capacity? How many words do you know in this particular language? So the first exercise is you are given a set of words for which you have to give the meaning of each of these words in the context of the given passage. That is a test of your vocabulary. Okay. Now, because basically our vocabulary or our word power are two types. Okay? Active vocabulary and passive vocabulary. The active vocabulary is the words that we frequently use in our ordinary conversations and in our ordinary speech and in our ordinary writing. In other words, we frequently use these words. Now, passive or recognition vocabulary, or it's also known as the recognition vocabulary. Alright? The passive or recognition vocabulary are those words and phrases or expressions that we do not use frequently in our conversations or in our writings, but when we see it somewhere or when we listen to it from someone, it strikes a note in our mind. Yes, I know the meaning of it. That is the response you get from your mind. Those words are known as a passive vocabulary. Those expressions are part of a passive or a recognition vocabulary. So these are important. That's what I told. So if this vocabulary exercise that is given to you, in both ways, when you see the word, either even if it's in your passive vocabulary or in the recognition part of your vocabulary, you shall be able to give the meaning of it. If it is active, it is part of your active vocabulary, also you will be able to give the meaning of it. And usually these questions are set, these words are selected according to a certain difficulty level in an ascending order. Now let's say three words are given and you are asked to give the meaning of these three words. Now when the meanings are given, these three words, out of these three words, let me tell you, the bright student or the brightest student shall be able to answer all the three word meanings correctly. And let's say an above average student shall definitely be able to answer all the at least two of the three word meanings correctly. And a poor student or a weak student should be able to answer, let's say, at least one of the word meanings correctly. So that is the way the question is set, and there may be a very dull student who may not be able to get even one of the word meanings correctly. Okay. So there is a difficulty level, and that's why each student do not get exactly the same mark as the other. Alright? So it's not only in testing your vocabulary when questions are set also, it is set based on a certain difficulty level. So that a difference is noticeably made between the best student and the average student and the poor student. Alright? So you can place them in different grades according to the answers they give. Because we are not basically expected to give a parrot type answer. In other words, to learn something by heart or to cram something and then to throw it up, vomit it out on the paper. So that is not expected of you. Your answers should be original, and in that originality lies your ability, your skill. Alright? In your own words. So that is the first type of question. Now this vocabulary test can be given in also in a number of other ways. Like it can be given in the form of questions. Okay? Now, let's say you are given A, B, C, D. You are given 4 meanings. Okay? Usually it is set like this. The meanings are given. 4 possible meanings. Meaning A, meaning B, meaning C, and meaning D. For a word that is given. So there is a word taken from the passage, and then 4 alternative meanings are given. And then you shall be asked to choose the best possible meaning of the word for each. Now this saves a lot of time. You are asked either to tick or to just copy out the answer that you think is correct, or you are asked to, for each a circle may be given and you are asked to shade the circle against the correct meaning you suppose is of the word is. Okay, so there is a second choice, a multiple choice question where the word is given and possible meanings are given, and out of these possible meanings you underline, you tick or you shade the appropriate answer. Okay, that's another way of testing your vocabulary. So this kind of question is usually given when you are writing a competitive exam. For instance, you must have heard of JEE or NEET,